Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. This is your host Martin Wong here. Now in our VSA 360 dashboard, also together with our Smart Robie, we bring you the latest intraday updates and also techniques, as well as some analysis that many of you already be familiar with our VSA 360 in here, and also all the analytics and live prizes that you can get. Of course, more update is also available in our Telegram podcast, so make sure you join our podcast, and don't forget to join our YouTube channel for more news. Let's take a look at what we have for you this morning. Definitely in our Trade VSA, we will be talking a new topic, and in this session you'll be learning a lot about support and resistance strategy. Now, many of you may have come across this support and resistance, especially if you're a beginner, but how do you trade them? Now, in how we denote it, you can see from top here, if it's a support, we see a little dash. It's like the basic floor, right, that you have in your house, and the ceiling is the resistance. So what happens if when the floor in the first floor of your house, let's say, breaks down? That's likely where the prices fall, and you also fall off. All right, and of course, if you have a rocket ship and you go through the roof, which means you break through the resistance, that means that is likely to go higher. That is what we call support and resistance, which is really pretty much like the floor that you see, but actually it is more than that. Wait until the couple slides there here, I'll share with you. So what are those rules? How do you trade with support and resistance? What are you looking for particularly in here? And let me share with you in the further slides I have with you some of the insights that we actually look at it through our back testing of support and resistance. So with the Intraday 360 dashboard in here, how do you look for this kind of trade in here? Of course, we'll be talking for many of our intraday, and for those of you who are medium to advanced trader, this will definitely suit you well. Now, also the key to day trading is choosing to trade within this market level. Where is it located? Is it located at the support area? Is it start to move away from the support area and towards the resistance? So very likely resistance may be one area, right, that you hit that and you want to take a little bit of profit. So that's also important. So all this is done through back testing. Then you will have more confidence to trade with this market in here. Of course, also supported by the hot sector that is currently mentioned in a lot of the media, and this where a lot of smart money will use the pretense of the support and resistance with the right volume, and that will distribute to the unsuspected crowd. So take note of it. So if you're inexperienced in this, VSA 360 will do a lot of the hard work for you. It will scan those kind of stocks in here, and of course we still have our 10-day free trial which is going on, and many of those who are watching today have already signed up for this one in here. If you have not, try out our 10-day trial. More information towards the end of this stock in here. Now, of course, the Pentagon Guider Portfolio Trading, we only have one position so far out from our 30,000 in here, which is currently still at Leong Hub International, which is a poultry. Now take note, Leong Hub did hit higher, but then came back down in so much, so that we are still pretty much in a unchanged position here. In terms from comparison to KLSE, you can see the benchmark KLSE is down 12%. Our portfolio is still returning minus 0.5. Not that great, I have to say, but at least better off than the KLSE index in here. And of course, we like to hear your feedback. The above is the QR code. Do pencil those into your comment on the left. If you can, feel free to feedback to us, as we hope to improve our delivery and our service to you to keep you updated and interested in the market too. Now, of course, the VSA 360 is the stock that we talk about for the intraday alert. And of course, let's look at the 360, what we have for you this morning. And that right now you can see the market is up 4 points. Now, remember last night we have the Dow Jones closes about a minus 0.82%. And so much so right now, the market is doing slightly better for KLCI is up 5 points, because I've talked about on the podcast the likelihood of a little bit of strength coming in for the Dow Jones after last night. We have this spring in here. KLCI is a 5-point up. You can see, more importantly, this is the from here you can see green Pentagon. So once you have green Pentagon, that usually means this market is likely to move higher or sideways markets in here. On the foreign funds flows, not so good. You can see last night, the 29, which is the 30th, we have almost 200 million. So that telling you, this resistance at 1470 is going to see a lot of seller. The support level is there, which is pretty much what we want to talk about the intraday today, this support. And also we have the market is up 5 points already, and of course all the sectors, if you just open this up, pretty much showing you everything. There are few greens are turning in. Technology are green, okay, but they are really right right now. If you want to trade those, these are really at bottom fishing right now. You can see turn green Pentagon, but notice the railway track of the moving average still trending downwards. So you have to be very careful, but looks like the support level already been reached in here. Let's take a look at some of these. You can see the green Pentagon, those started off. Construction has turned green. REITs, utility, KLCI, that's one. Finance has also turned green too, you can see, right? So that is a big heavyweight of the market. Consumer, technology, plantation has also turned green, but still holding up this level, not really to go high. So it has stopped this movement in here. Now take note of it. The last time we have it here was pretty much way back in last year February. Make a double top. You can see here, that's why the resistance level in here, it's so much important in here. We have a climatic volume, and that's why the market actually sell off all the way down. Okay, so that tells you the right sector is construction, REITs, and KL utilities. So make note of those two stocks in here. And of course, let's look at our alert in here. And our alert so far is Gamuda. Notice construction is also turned green Pentagon. Hatta Lega, all the rubber glove stocks has turned green Pentagon. Public Bank turned red. Nvidia, Hewlett Packard, technology stocks, Sedania, Euro, Kosan, CTOS has turned green Pentagon. Heng Yuan has turned green Pentagon. You can take a look at this one here, and you can see Heng Yuan just yep, that's a nice because we did have the huge sell-off that we have, and Heng Yuan this morning is still down 2% after the nice move that you have green Pentagon in here. So a lot of these stocks are really undergoing some selling pressure in here. So that's why support and resistance makes a lot of sense trading those level here. All right, so we done the strong and weak sector we just mentioned in here. Now trading in the market support and resistance is pretty important. As I said before, we need to know the background on the left hand side, just like some of the stocks I was talking about in here. Know the background where we're coming up. Always look to the left hand side of the chart where the support and level are located. So you can see from the chart here, we have the support market going up, but when you hit this resistance in here, this is the part of resistance, the support, and another up move. And then when you break down, expect volume to be heavy here, and then the market will retest, and then support turn to resistance, and resistance will turn to support. That's usually how the market rolls. And also take note, market support and resistance are not random. These are because support are actually demand line, right, where they have a lot of buyers coming in and the sellers has already been removed. Volume tend to taper down right at the support area there. And next couple of bars, you probably see volume coming in. So remember, they're not random. Resistance is very similar. On the top side, these are what we call supply area. So we will see a lot of sellers coming out and demand will drop off. And sometimes we do see high volume in here. And that's why we see upthrust, upthrust sign of weakness, and if the overtaking of the upthrust followed by volume higher, that means this market will move higher. And we use peak value indicator to determine the easy way of looking at the support and resistance and how much it has moved up, usually by gauging about 10% or 20%. If the market has moved downward, it is likely to hit rebound, and that's where we see resistance and the volume starting to come out after a few bars over there. Green Pentagon would be the marker of the resumption of a slightly uptrend or a sideways market like we saw in the KLSE right now in here. So those you can actually use on the hourly chart, right? Turn it to hourly chart, you can see that. Much of this we actually explain in our courses that we talk about here. Okay, and day trading, we treat VSA 360 using support and resistance. First, we have to find the right stock trade idea to trade, of course, with the right trend. As I said before, on last week, which is the 24th of June, we talk about the market going into stage 2, going to stage 2, which is a markup. Then you likely hit distribution. So at the distribution side, this is where we see that resistance being tested in here. So you got to look out for support and resistance. Where is the support using the powerful SOS sign of strength, overtaking of the upthrust. But at the same time, be wary of the breakout on low volume, especially right now when the market is bearish. We've seen a lot of breakout like we saw on the rubber glove, right? We've seen rubber glove, and that's why we have a sell-off in here. Breaks out, but the volume is not substantial enough. Also check out that volume. So if it fail to move higher and it close below the entry, then it becomes a fail SOS. That means the strength did not come in, so it's better to go. And if you have any questions that you want me to answer it, or take a look at a couple of charts, I'll pencil those in there on the left hand side of the chart. I'll be happy to look at them for you. Now also VSA 360 can monitor this alert for intraday back tested in here and using the hourly Pentagon Guider. Now, of course, let's look back on June 24th for some hot sector, whether they are energy, technology, which we talk about, right? We know that technology is already turned green Pentagon. Let's take a look at it. Green energy, KL energy, not yet. Let's take a look at the chart here. You can see energy has not turned green Pentagon yet, but technology has turned green Pentagon. You can see energy is still pretty much in a downtrend. If it does break back slightly higher, but notice that volume that it breaks up tends to be low. So this might be just a rebound that you see up here. Okay, so that's something you want to take note of. All right, and looking at the stock screener, let's look back at last week. The VSA overtaking of the upthrust. Now, if you look back on the 24th of June, we want to be looking at stocks that is 47 cents. That is hot right now. Definitely QL, KFIMA comes in place, but we also want to look at one which is Lei Hong, which is below 30 cents. Let's study them precisely in here. So you can see from here, the KLSE did go lower. Remember on that day on 24th, and the VSA 360 intraday picked up at about 516 in here. Now also take note, subsequently when the market started to move up here, you can see this stock started to pick up. Let me just bring up the pen, but eventually only 1, 2, 3 after the overtake of the upthrust, the market next day moved higher, and then cracked to the 5 ringgit 40 cents. So why was it possible? Let me just share with you in here. 4.6%, so a nice profit of potential profit of $225 for $5,000 trade. And the plan was actually to take 3 to 4%, so we probably got it. If you look through here, it is on the way of going up to hit that resistance. It hit through it, right? But take note of this volume that you have. The breakout volume isn't that great, right? Not fantastically, and then the market next day has a 2-bar reversal, right? Breaking even on higher volume right now. This means the sellers are up. So these are something that you need to be very careful on, especially when I said before, on the background of the market bearishness that we've seen right now. Every time when the market break through, there are always a reversal to the downside in here. All right, next trade was Lei Hong. Now remember, this is a trade that is trading below 30 cents. We prefer to pick something that's 47 cents. And right now you can see this market hits the resistance, which is overtake of the UT. We pick it up at 30 cents. And of course, the 30 cents is the top resistance. Okay, the top resistance, although previously the high was 32.5, and the market did form a resistance and a double top. You can see 1 and 2. So subsequently the market just break down from here. So this is why when you want to pick those what we call overtake of the UT, make sure you look to the left hand side, and always remember, as I said before, market resistance and market support are not random. They are there because either the supply is already out, a lot of sellers, and that's why we see this VSA 360 able to pick up Lei Hong. So we still need the trader, especially those of you who are medium to advanced, to look out for that support and resistance in here. Okay, let's look at the next chart here. Is Kumpulan FEMA. Again, you can look at Kumpulan FEMA. The VSA 360 pick it out at 254. Right, we do have a support in here. Where is all the support now? If you look on hindsight, the market did hold its level around 250, right? But it did test the 265 support at 250 in here, and then only today we see a bit of volume breakout. Very nice one. That volume breaks out, and but decreasing volume previously, so that means the market was not ready, not until this morning, which we see KFEMA break up. I think overtaking the 262, the uptrust, you will see some more movement in here. So check it out in here. This is the one that you want to pay attention in here, to overtaking the uptrust. Alright, so the intraday stock alert basically is very based on those three examples. Be careful of the breakout, okay, and the support and the resistance here. Look at the volume. Screen through your intraday trading using the VSA 360 in here, and the OTUT is supposed to be a mule now until we get a bit more up bullish trend that we see on the KLCI. Then we have more of this breakout on higher volume will be genuine. But right now, if you can get 3-4%, take it at this. Criteria are 47 cents, good volume sector, target 3 to 4%. And of course, if you're experienced, you can run it a few more days. Now, our challenge for our 20-day challenge for our plugin and masterclass member continue to be on. As I said before, we will give you an update. So far they've been doing pretty well, and we will have update this Saturday for our member sharing in here, and you could see the top trader in a good spirit, around 6% return for the week 20 to 24th, and the remaining was about 1 or 2%. Despite what we see in this bear market, I applaud them for their recommended trading using our VSA 360 intraday in here. Well done to all the 20-day live trading challenge in here. Something we continue to coach our member and also our students in our plugin to be good in this using the analytics tools. If you are really interested, check out our 10-day free trial in here and more on that. So let's take a look at our list of candidates on our VSA 360. Let's analyzing them using the support and resistance, which we talk about. So once you log in, you go to what's new and check out the intraday alert. So we have scroll right in the morning here, as I said before. Right now you can see here you have OTUT, overtake the uptrust, CEKD, EPHP. These are 57 cents, not too bad. So definitely we'll look at turn that one off, CEKD, because next week you're going to be looking back at that. So you can see from this one, the market hit up here, not so convincing. Just one bar up, but you'll notice there is a support at this level, right? That's why we have this peak valley. You notice this is the peak, this is the valley, so the support is this level. You do have a bit of resistance in here, not the best one, as I said before. What's the next one we have? Is CEKD, and the other one is EPMB. EP manufacturing. This one is slightly better. You can see uptrust take out in here. Market started to move up. All right, you do have this resistance at 112. So 112 potentially we are looking at. Okay, here. Okay, a 4%, so that's something like what we talk about here. A very nice one in here, but take note there is a resistance here. Market started to move up. Green Pentagon started earlier on, but this is an uptrust. We do have this nice one in here. Volume hasn't, but you can notice there's a lot of sellers just turn. Of course, you can always use the Pentagon Guider to look into this. You can see we did hit 11 o'clock. Market sold back out at 6 o'clock, but this morning holding up this level around 2% in here. Nice one. If the market can hold above 106, we'll look to set to retest back the 112 very, very soon. So right now we can see this is a pretty nice chart in here. EPHP. Let's look at another one. Right, this is something that you want to be using. EP. Okay, we got Rojas is 29 cents, so just be careful. We prefer those that is 47 cents. Telecom, TM. There's a question here, can OT be used for trading intraday using the 5 minutes? Yes. In general, you can use it to trade it, but I do think that you need to back test it first. More importantly, to back test to see your win rates. That's why we always do back testing is very important in here. Judging from, I hope I answered your question in here. 5 minutes in here, but also take note of the volume. Most important is the closing volume of the OTUT. On a 5 minute chart tend to be very, very noisy. Now on this chart, you can see we are already hitting a resistance already here. Right, this is a resistance, so this market in here not a better trade lah. The market is likely to go to range bound in here. So if you look back, the trades, the resistance is over here. That's why you need to have the peak and valley. Okay, peak and valley, that will take you into a nice area, and you got $5 in here is your support. All right, so out of those, it does look like EPMB will be a better one, but we will come back and see next Friday how well will these stocks will fare. All right, so looking at that, so what you learn from this lesson, I think is very important, is understanding the intraday trading that we talk about, understanding the support and resistance. Where is the support? Now remember, support and resistance are not random. So especially at the resistance area when they try to break out, do you have sufficient volume? On the backdrop of the overall index, which is the market index, is it strong? Is it weak? Right now, if it's weak, many of them will have slightly lower volume. That's why we see the breakout failure and the market turn back. So what are those rules that you trade them? Like just one of the audience was asking about the 5 minutes in here. You really need to back test it. As about in principle, most of this will work, right? But if you are trading a much shorter time frame in here, just test it out and look at your win rates. Okay, so be wary of the breakout resistance and also the test reversal, especially right now. You don't want to go long on those stocks. Key to successful day trading is choosing to know this level, just like I just explained to you the difference when we look at the case study, what we talk about on Telegram Malaysia versus EPMP and CEKD. Rewatch this video again and you will probably learn a few more insights to it. Now of course, we are offering our VSA 360 intraday alert 10-day free trial, so use this scan code and able to access just what we saw here, the charts plus the VSA 360, a bonus at 288 ringgit. Of course, if you are ready, just subscribe to our combo package in here, and all this with a very good close to about 400 plus rating of 4.8 people giving to Trade VSA now tools. We thank you for your support. We thank you for your time spending with us, and I do hope today you have learned something we need. Of course, next Thursday will be our CPE course, which is 10 points SIDC. If you're a remiser or dealer in the financial professional, I'm one of the appointed CPE instructor in here. Come attend the VSA 360 course and you'll get your 10 points for your professional education requirement. Something that a lot of the professional people do in here for a fee of 488. I think we already closed our early bird fee. So we are just another on the 7th, that's right, just next Thursday in here. All right, so catch you all, and we'll definitely learn a lot more fundamentals with VSA 360 in here. And of course, we still have on the 16th of July, seats are filling up fast. We have need a few more seats, I believe, for our top coach here, Sifu Fu, with his pull and call warrant. Make a lot of sense in here. Structured warrant with Wyckoff methodology. Those of you interested, you can register for this one here. There is a fee for this, and you'll be learning a lot on understanding the warrant, how it works, and able to capture big size using the long or short. You can win on long or short. On our intraday, we can only do long. So this is definitely a bullish and bearish product here. Okay, not to forget, tonight, lots of program going on, as I said before. At 8 o'clock, we are starting for our second session with Dr. Gary, a trading psychologist from US, Wyckoff Sifu, Grand Sifu, and we'll definitely learn a lot more from them. So tonight, for our members here, those who attended the masterclass, I'll see you at 8 o'clock Zoom session in here, where with Trade VSA, we teach you how to trade smarter every time with the right education. What are you waiting for? Right? If you don't have that education, choose us, as we will guide you through our coaching and our mentorship, just like our 20-day live trading challenge in here. And of course, this is part and parcel of our delivery, which we started in May. Continue to deliver what we promise up here. And of course, we like to hear your feedback. This is a QL form. Just give us a feedback. What would you like to talk about in our morning breakfast show, and I'm happy to see that. And right now we'll be looking at a couple of stocks. If you have a few stocks that you want me to talk about, just pencil those in on the left hand side. I'll be happy to look at them. Right? And happy Friday weekend. All right, of course, for us, we definitely a lot more to cover. We have our Dr. Gary session tonight, and tomorrow 10 a.m. will be our members sharing session for our first briefing for our 20-day live trading challenge. If you have not, I'll see you later on Monday. Be back with our breakfast show with Smart Robie. Thank you again, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and share, and also our Telegram chat room for more stock market information that we will be with you, supporting all the way. You are important to us. Thank you again. Bye-bye.